Surly Horns Podcast. This is season 2, episode 15, and this is the first week I've actually been an active degenerate since I've been unemployed. We do have another guest on the podcast this week, but first, RGB3, how you doing? Special day today for you.
It is 9 years with the wifey. So, she's doing some kind of crazy diet. So I cooked myself a steak and, got to enjoy it. But, 9 years together today. And she's only tried to murder me like 2 or 3 times that I know about. I don't know about when I'm sleeping. So.
And our special guest today is Kyle UMLANG from Twitter, the stat man.
The king of Texas Twitter.
That's me. Voted number 1 by the fans.
Yeah, so you did win the what was that? It was the tournament of Texas sports Twitters.
Yeah, it was best Texas sports Twitter account. And I was up against some heavy hitters, but no match.
I didn't really understand other than it was just pure likes and retweets.
No, it was you had to vote. There was a poll for each round.
Okay.
A real live bot had to vote for each one.
You mean you won by getting a bunch of bots to vote for you?
Smart.
Smart man. Numbers guy knows how to win in the numbers game.
Yeah. Little AI.
Moving on from anniversary talk and winning things with bots, how about Mortal Kombat? They're teasing us with this fucking insane trailer.
Friday. So by the time people are listening to the podcast, they're going to be able to watch this movie live, and I could not be more excited. The nerd inside of RGB3 is the biggest Mortal Kombat geek in the world. I've played all the games a billion times. Of course, you got to love the movie, which is like the best movie of all time. Like it's the quintessential 90s movie, but
it's up there. It's up there with Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, so I grew up playing Mortal Kombat. I'm just gonna geek out so hard. This is definitely got to be my first movie that I'm gonna go see in theaters since COVID hit. It has to be.
I wish it wasn't so expensive to rent a movie theater, because I looked into it for Godzilla versus Kong because my friends wanted to do that, and it's absurd. It's like absurdly expensive.
You can get a super cheap one if you do like a morning. So I looked into it, like, because you always see like school kids will do it. It's like $100 in the morning when they're not open. So you can't have concessions or anything like that, but you can literally just walk in and they'll just press play on the movie.
So that's how they're gonna go in there and sneak their hand jobs during the morning sesh, huh?
Nothing better than a McMuffin and Kong.
Hey, that sounds great. So I don't know if y'all saw the trailer, but in the original trailer, Sub-Zero stabs Scorpion with his own blood.
Yeah.
It's going to be the greatest movie of all time. I don't care. The story's going to be ass. It's going to be terrible. But you're just going to see people
You're just going to recycle the story. Everybody, if you've played the game, right? What are they on? Mortal Kombat 9?
11.
The story's the same in every game. They just kind of introduce new characters and they just replay the same story, right? It's just a tournament where you fight to the death.
Kind of like Mario, but with the blood.
Exactly.
Well, if y'all played the game, who's y'all's go-to fighter?
I didn't play all of them, but my favorite one was, I think it was like on the Sega, it was number 3.
Oh yeah.
Ultimate Noob Saibot, or I don't know what his name was. It was just some shadow guy. I haven't played him forever, but that was my guy back in the day.
I'm a big Johnny Cage guy.
Loved Annihilation, right? Mortal Kombat Annihilation is like one of my favorite movies of all time.
So shitty.
Reptile, definitely my favorite character in game. 100%.
Oh, yeah. So good.
And his fatalities were always the fucking best.
Oh yeah, just eat somebody's head. Yeah.
Or spit acid on them and just fucking melt them.
My problem with Mortal Kombat is I love the game. I am pretty good at it when I play my friends. I'll beat the shit out of my friends to the point where they will not play me in it anymore. But I'm ass. Like if I try to go online, it's like these people know like 30 button sequences. I'm just going to get my ass handed to me. So I'm in this weird zone where I just have to play like single player by myself like a fucking loser.
Yeah. I'm not much of a gamer anymore, but like that started like back with I started playing Madden online, and all these little kids just were destroying me, and I'm like, this isn't fun. I'm just gonna play by myself.
Just people calling you slurs.
Your cousin. That'll make me feel good.
Man, I remember being so toxic on Xbox Live. Anyway, for Mortal Kombat, getting back to Mortal Kombat, of course, everything has to be a drinking game of some kind. So, every time Scorpion does the get over here, we're going to take a shot of Fireball. And every time Sub-Zero freezes someone, we're going to take shots of Rumplemans.
You're going to be dead. You're going to be absolutely dead. You're going to be absolutely dead. That's a game ender right there. Yeah, that's fatality. You know, they throw something in there. But anytime Shang Tsung steals somebody's soul, who's my second main guy that I usually use. So
other happenings, and we've got a statistics guy, so we need you to weigh in on these statistics from a poster. His name is Close to Humping. He's a funny guy.
He sounds like he has a check mark.
Apparently he's real strong. So he started a thread and he said, "Can anybody match my fitness numbers?" or something like that. And so he posted his numbers, and we know that nobody ever lies on the internet, right?
Never.
You're forced to tell the truth on the internet anytime you touch a keyboard. That's why everybody, believes everything that's on Twitter.
Right.
His bench is 425. His squat is 700. He can curl 120. He can run the 40-yard dash in 4.8 seconds. And he can run 2 miles in 12 minutes flat. His cock is also 9 inches, but that has absolutely nothing to do with anything. What do you think about those stats?
Okay. The first few, maybe they kind of all fit the same physique, but
there's no way
giant muscle guy
425
who also sprints fast, but also can do 2 miles in 12 minutes.
That's Joseph Osai. He just stole Joseph Osai's pro day numbers. That's all he did. Except his cost.
Is that really? Inches. Maybe he has inside knowledge on all the numbers.
I would do them all except for the 2 miles. It's possible, but 2 miles, no.
2 miles in 12 minutes. I've run a 6-minute mile, right, in the sixes. That doesn't mean 6 minutes flat. I've never run under a 6:45.
Well, yeah, but the faster you are, the more slender you are, so you can't really bench 425 while also sprinting really well for 2 miles. It just doesn't seem possible.
The peak of my physical prowess in high school football was I ran a 4.9840. And the coaches laughed because I fucking blew out a cleat right at the end. Took a tumble. But hey, I had a 4 in front of it. That's all I give a shit about.
Yeah. That's impressive.
You can tell your grandkids that. Worth it.
Yeah, I couldn't break 6 right now.
We were really wondering if he has any eligibility left with some of these numbers. We should get him on the football team, and then he could, continue posting on the message board. Put all the scoop from the team. Right.
Hey, friend of the pod, Nate Boyer did it. Yeah, absolutely. He could be a deep snapper on this team. Jeff Banks would love him.
So, Kyle, getting into you a little bit, how did you end up either at the University of Texas, a University of Texas fan? Tell us a little bit about you for the people that don't know who you are.
So, I attended Texas during the golden age, 2004 to 2008. No. Yeah, 2008, maybe. I don't remember. Yeah, 2008. I saw all the best games, all the championships, 3 consecutive BCS bowl wins. It was amazing. And then after I left, not so much.
It happened.
Hey, we got close.
So you might be the cause of the demise. Have you ever questioned that, in some kind of drunken reality where you're just like, man, I left in 2008 and, it could be partially my fault that Cole
I think about it
hurt his shoulder.
Every night I think about that.
Yeah, I would too.
But so did you grow up a Longhorn, or did you choose it because of school and then you fell in love with sports?
No, so my family is half and half. Aggies, Longhorns. My dad's an Aggie. My little brother's an Aggie. My other little brother's a Longhorn. My mom's side's mostly Longhorns. My dad's side's mostly Aggies. It's a big rivalry in my family. We watch it every Thanksgiving, or if we weren't watching it, we were there at the game.
Some bloody Thanksgivings.
Yeah, it was the 2011 game. It was down to the last field goal, and I will always remember this. When the last kick went through the uprights, my little brother turned off the TV, threw the remote, ran up the stairs, and slammed his door in some So my family pictures started tumbling down the stairs because he slammed his door so loud, and me and my other brother who went to Texas were just smiling at each other like, yeah, this is awesome.
Feels pretty good.
Yeah,
Feels
so
pretty good.
so like in high school, my dad was like, "Yeah, you gonna apply to A&M?" And I was like, I'll apply, but I really want to go to Texas." So he was like, "Yeah, I guess whatever you want is fine. Texas is fine." So I went to Texas.
My dad literally would not let me submit an application to Texas A&M. He said, "I don't care where you go. You can go to Tech. You can go wherever you want. You will absolutely not apply."
That's how I'm gonna do with my
to
kids. You can go anywhere, just not Oklahoma, not Ohio State, not A&M.
So did you study math? Are you a math guy, like all the way through, like your
I actually
education?
placed out of my math credit before I even got there because I decided to major in advertising for some reason. I don't know why. My guidance counselor said, "Oh, that sounds like fun." So I did that, and it needs one math credit. And I at like summer orientation, I took a math test to like place out of that, so I didn't have to take. I took math the entire time I was there.
I failed math 3 times, basic math. I only needed to pass one class, and I failed it 3 times. So,
Oh, come on!
and then I got a C. I got a C on the last one because it was online only, and I had my buddy do it for me. So
Nice. Yeah.
Classic.
So I did advertising. I did a bunch of marketing gigs out of college, and then I found a job that was like a marketing analyst, which did more like numbers and stuff. And so then my next job after that was like a data analyst, and so I kind of just moved from the marketing side of things to the data analysis type stuff.
Mr. Data. Yeah,
Then I decided to get my master's. I'm graduating in May from Syracuse with a master's in applied data science. So now I'll tell people that's my degree and not the advertising one.
Hey, that's fair.
Yeah, so now you will be a bona fide data guy.
Yeah.
So we got to give the people what they want. You talked about Texas and Texas A&M. I got to know, what are your favorite Texas versus Texas A&M stats?
Okay, well, I don't know if you know this, but I got a book with all my favorite stats.
Yes, please. Yes.
I left it in the other room. I tagged
Don't
my
worry, we
favorite
cut this
ones.
shit.
Okay.
Or we might just leave it rolling. Who cares?
This guy has while he's going to get his shirt, he has a shirt of himself on that says Mr. Data. It's fucking hilarious.
Mr. Data. Imagine accumulating this much knowledge and just putting it towards trolling A&M. You just gotta love it.
I mean, it's very Randolph Duke-esque,
Yeah.
but much better.
So I'll just read a couple of my faves. Okay. By 1952, Texas had already beaten A&M more times than the Aggies would ever beat the Longhorns in the rivalry's history.
1952.
Okay. In football, Texas top 5 finishes in football during leap years is 5. A&M top 5 finishes in football, basketball, or baseball all time 4.
In leap years, every 4 years. That's so good.
Texas A&M's last national championship is closer to the Emancipation Proclamation than it is to this upcoming season. Oklahoma A&M changed its name to Oklahoma State in 1957. To this day, it's still the most successful agricultural mechanical college in NCAA history by earning 23 Division I championships before the name change. Texas A&M only has 16 to this date.
And that's including the women's basketball national championship.
Yep.
Wait, so they and the swimming and diving national championship,
and every equestrian championship that's ever been played, I'm sure.
And don't forget meat judging.
Wait, so even after the name change, not counting all the success, because Oklahoma State has had plenty of success after the name change.
Oh yeah,
but that's not even including the success after the name change.
Yeah. Okay, Kellen Mond broke nearly every career QB record at Texas A&M. Sam Ehlinger still has 2,000 plus more yards of offense and 34 more touchdowns than he did.
Sam Ehlinger, who is Texas's third? I guess you got to say third best quarterback in recent.
Statistically, he's probably second best.
Accomplishments third. Okay, only 4 Power 5 teams didn't pad their stats with FCS opponents in the last decade. Notre Dame, Texas, UCLA, and USC. Texas A&M played 10.
You know what my favorite thing about that?
Since they moved to the SEC, no one has played more FCS teams than A&M.
Like in all of FBS.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is the year that they I can't remember what year it was, but to be bowl eligible, they counted their spring game as their 6th win. Um, I can't remember what year it was. I gotta find it, but yeah, they counted their spring game as a win, so they could get bowl eligible.
A&M's 2020 college football playoff resume had more wins against teams that fired their head coach than wins against teams with winning records. In the last 50 years, Donald Trump has been impeached more times than A&M has beaten Alabama.
Ouch! That one stings. No cloakroom. No cloakroom.
For those Aggies that are optimistic about this upcoming season, in the last 20 years, when ranked in the AP preseason poll, A&M is 6-23 against ranked teams during the regular season.
What?
Good luck.
So what you're telling me is, and let's go meta. Let's go meta for a little bit. What you're telling me is A&M sucks.
Yes.
Historically incorrect.
I wrote a book of how much they suck.
I can't wait to read this book.
Let's tell the listeners so they can go and buy this book. What is the name of this book?
It's called 101 Aggie Facts, Things Every Longhorn Should Know.
So good.
And I think that was a really good sneak preview in what's in the book. Do you add commentary between these, or are you just blasting?
No, it's just lets you can flip to a random page and there's a random stat for you just like that. And
oh my god,
do you know a lot of things people didn't know, and I hope to the goal is to spread the word of Aggie's misfortune is all.
I can't wait to 102 facts. I think you could write a second book immediately. I think my favorite thing.
I already have enough to do like a half a second book already, so I'm.
Jimbo will give you enough.
Have you ever heard of a fellow named Randolph Duke?
Yes, everyone calls me Randolph Duke on Twitter. Anytime I piss someone off, they're like, "Oh, you're just Randolph Duke." And clothing, I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
You don't know what that means, so you've heard it, but you have no idea.
I've heard of the Randolph Duke.
Okay, so Randolph Duke is a member of our community, and he's been kind of around in our community for a while. Surly Horns can't take credit for Randolph Duke's existence, but Randolph
I don't
Duke,
know if we want to.
he rose to critical acclaim mainly during the Shaggy Bevo days, when he would just go in real hard on just very obscure, insane historical. Like he had newspaper clippings and all kinds of shit that he would just pull. And I mean, he went and did like, document requests and like dug in courthouses and like did all kinds of insane shit to basically just talk about how Texas A&M is part of the University of Texas system. And then they were split off and all this stuff. So that's where Randolph Duke, and so he will occasionally still make an appearance every couple of months. I'd say once a quarter he comes out and he graces us with his presence.
So speaking of research, how do you gather all this? What's your go-to source? Are you just scouring the internet? Like how does all this accumulate?
So it started in 2019. I mean, I've had Twitter since 2011, but from 2011 to 2019, I have about 10 tweets that I don't even know what they are. But in 2019, I like for my grad school, we had to do a bunch of like data visualizations using Tableau. And there's like this online community on Twitter with like data vises. And so I joined that. I joined Twitter back again for that. And I started posting stuff. And every data viz would get like 10 likes. It wasn't a big deal. And then all of a sudden, one time, it was March 1st, I posted this history of A versus Texas, and it blew up and had like 1,000+ likes. Sam Ellinger retweeted it. I got new followers in one day, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do college football stuff because people actually like this. No one cares about my other stuff. So then I just started doing just random college football stats and just cool like graphic design stuff. And so like every time I think of something to do, I'll look it up, I'll research it, and then I'll post it, and then I save what I've researched. So right now I have this Dropbox folder with like, I don't know, like 50 gigs worth of just data from just random places, random things that I never know when I might need it, but I have most everything.
That's
So
great.
you like there's a website, what is it called? It's like NCAA stats or something, right? There's a database of like every box score and like every stat from every team that in like at least the recorded history age. I'm
Yeah.
sure you have to dig deeper for the not like I think that's pretty much everything from like the 70s on is basically freely available on the internet. Stuff that gets older than that, it
Yeah,
gets kind of dicey.
I have every box score of every FBS game that's ever been played. I have that and like the location it was played, and I've added a bunch of stuff to it, like what conference that team was in 1922 or whatever it was played. I'm trying to work on adding who was the head coach and what was the stadium's capacity back then to every single team. It's going to take forever to do, but
Good God.
and then I'll add in like which if either team was ranked during it. I have a separate file of every AP ranking from 1936 on of every week, so I can tell you how many weeks TCU's been ranked number 6 since 1950. I don't know why you would want to know that, but I can do it.
I kind of want to know. I kind of want to know. Holy shit.
Uh,
How many weeks has Texas sucked in my lifetime? Just do that.
Not a whole lot. It's
Not
actually
that much.
you've
How old
got
are you?
recency bias. You've got recency bias.
Yeah, I guess
Texas has not sucked much.
I think
Yeah.
it's the sucky years or the years that I was drinking through, so it just made it exponentially worse. So, like when I was a kid, it was great. So
Yeah, I remember back in the day when I didn't really follow every single game, 2002 and before. Like I was like, oh, Texas is playing this week. Oh, I'll check the score at the end. It wasn't a big deal, but basically since 2003, 2004, I've watched every single game that I can, and I remember most games. But yeah, it's been last decade's been kind of rough.
I just remember my dad calling Chris Sims a pussy for for years. So that's my earliest memory of Texas football is hearing Chris Sims getting called a pussy.
Nice. So did you went to the Rose Bowl or
No, I
you
did not. My cousin went. I did not. I did not have enough money to go. It was crazy expensive. Like you got to pay for a flight. You got to pay
Should have
for
put a book out.
a hotel that's like quadrupled in price for that night. You got $400 tickets. Like it's a lot of moolah for 2004, Kyle.
Yeah, especially
we
in Los Angeles.
when we went to the 2009 seasons, the 2010 Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
We flew to Vegas and stayed in Vegas, and then the day of or the night before, we drove in and stayed out like fucking in some flea bag motel, and then drove into Pasadena the day of. So we drove from Vegas to LA and stayed in really far away from Pasadena, and then the morning of drove into Pasadena. And then obviously parked like infinity away from the stadium.
It was still probably $50.
Oh yeah, who knows? I don't even remember. I don't even remember. I was homeless.
I wouldn't have made it out of Vegas. So yeah, there's no way I would have made it out of Vegas at that point.
I was 20 years old. I couldn't even gamble. I just like walked around casinos and I looked 21 and I didn't try and gamble, so nobody carded me. But I just drank in the casinos and would just kind of avoid the pit bosses and stuff. And
you probably just look like people who like left their like drinks that are like a third full. You start.
No, I mean everybody I was with was like in their 20s, 1+ age range, and so they would just get me drinks, and then I would drink them. Yeah, so it was those are great memories, and I just remember that national championship game being in the stands was insane, right? I mean that was the most I've ever seen the tides turn within a single game. But
pun intended.
Yeah. So
it's our fault that Alabama even has like a dynasty. It's all our fault.
Oh, yeah. Not just that game, but I mean Saban was coming. Like if telling people Saban was fucking coming. Like he was coming. Mac fucked it up. Mac fucked it up for everybody. It's like not even a secret anymore. Saban was fucking coming. And guess what? Texas pulled a Texas.
Don't even want to
well, I don't know. I don't know if it was that or if Nick Saban, made a deal with Satan.
Oh,
and as part of that deal, that Mac Brown's soul was also sacrificed.
No. I always thought I always thought that Mac Brown made some, like, he was on the sideline just making, like, praying to Satan on that 1 second left in the Big 12 championship. And he was like, I don't care what it takes. I have to win this game. Please, Satan, bless me with this win. And
I'm
it's
pretty sure
like,
Satan was
okay,
in
let's do
Ndamukong
this.
Suh. And Ndamukong, I've never seen a defensive performance in my life
Yeah, I mean,
like the Ndamukong Suh game. I mean, that's what you got to call it at this point, the
yeah.
Ndamukong Suh game. Holy fucking shit. That guy was everywhere. I've never in my life, like, even Aaron Donald, he wishes he was in Ndamukong Suh at Nebraska. Holy shit.
Who won the Heisman that year?
Bradford.
They freaking
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bradford.
That was a mistake.
Again.
That was a mistake. And Ndamukong Suh should have
A
won.
lot of them were
that
mistakes.
Heisman.
The Heisman's I've learned in my last like 10 years of watching it. It doesn't even, it's just a popularity contest. It doesn't really matter. The best player rarely wins. It's just stupid. It means nothing.
Yeah, Jason White winning one with his Jinko
Right.
jeans. And
Right.
yeah, Larry Fitzgerald got robbed. Vince got robbed.
Right.
Vote after the national championship game.
Right. I know.
And then Reggie Bush gets caught, taking money or whatever. Like, Vince, that should be sitting in your house. You can pawn it. We know you're hard up. Just pawn it. Also, come on the podcast.
So, do you have requests from fans on the Twitter sphere? I guess they
Yes.
you have an overlapping fan base, right? Of
Yes.
just random math nerds and now UT football people.
I get 30 to whatever DMs a day with people saying, "Hey, have you ever thought of this?" or "Why don't you look up this?" or "How'd you find this?" or "What would you do if you were looking for this?" And it's hard to like respond to all of them. So sometimes I'll like forget I have them, and then like a month later I'll be looking and I'm like, "Oh, I never responded to this dude." And I'm like, I guess it's a little too late to give an answer.
Fuck this guy.
Good DMs,
I guess
but what about I gotta know about the bad DMs. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, you have to have tons of Aggies in your DMs.
Yes. I don't know if you know on Twitter, but like on DMs, like if you click on your messages at the very top, it'll say like new requests. If it ever says new requests, it's not a good one. It's always from like someone who doesn't follow you, and I already know what it is like before I even.
Gig'em Jimbo 69 wants to send you a message.
Jimbo 69 says, "You suck. You such a nerd. Live in my basement. You never looked at a girl before. You're a loser."
Just tell them to fuck a sheep. That's all you got to do. Just say fuck a sheep.
And then you can keep track of that, and you can say number of sheep that have been fucked due to Kyle this year.
Yeah, don't you have a yell practice to go to? You got to fucking practice yelling. God damn, are you going to have to practice, coloring inside the lines next? Jesus.
Like, it's not like make believe. Like my brother, he went to A&M. Like 4 years after I was done with Texas, he was at A&M. Like he was a freshman when I was a senior. Like I was there and witnessed everything he was taught there. Like he came back from orientation and he was like, came back with all these dates memorized. He was like, "Hey, did you know that A&M had the first all black fraternity?" And I was like, "I already know that's not right." I was like,
"No, that's not true. There's no fucking way that's true."
I was like, "There's no way." And he goes, "Well," I was like, "Who? What?" And he named the fraternity. I was like, "There's no way." Like there've been like all black colleges for like 100+ years. Like there's no way that A&M in the '60s, who's like that's when they started like admitting women and African Americans. There's just no way they had the first one. And he like didn't believe it. He was like, "Well, they told me at fish camp." I was like, "Okay, well,
even
I'm telling
the Whataburger thing, like the Whataburger thing, like, oh, you have to have a maroon stripe. Like, get over it. Like, get over it. It's just it's just fuck. It's Whataburger. Like, okay, if I was Whataburger, I'd slap my dick on the table and I'd say, I don't give a fuck. I'll put an extra 20 in Austin. I'll sell those bitches over there. Guess what? Enjoy your fucking Wendy's.
College Station still doesn't have a Waffle House.
Un-American.
That's not even orange.
Yeah,
it's yellow.
American. Well, fine dining in College Station. You're talking about. I mean, do they have a Pluckers? I don't think they have a Pluckers. I mean,
if you're not talking Dixie Chicken, they don't want to talk. That is the beginning and end for them. That is what they. If you ask any Aggie like where to go, always chicken. My brother always tried to go like get me to go. He was like, "You gotta go to Dixie Chicken." I was like, "I don't want to." He's like, "But
trash.
Chicken and they have beers." I was like, "Every place has that."
Yeah, I remember. So I went. Oh God, it's been fucking years now. They make you buy a mug and you get cheaper refills or something like that. I don't know. At least that was a deal like 11 years ago. So I remember walking in, my buddy's like, "Oh, you got to buy the mug, and you just carry it around, and they'll fill it anywhere you go on Northgate." I'm like, "Well, this is fucking stupid. I just don't want to carry around this big ass fucking mug." But I guess you got to do it because I think it was like $3 Bud Lights or something fucking terrible. Fuck that city. That city's terrible.
What is your favorite tweet? Right. So the first
Favorite
one
tweet?
that you did, right?
Oh.
So that first one you described, where it's
Yeah.
like, okay, it gets picked up by Sam, it gets retweeted, it has 1,000 plus likes, and you're like, maybe there's something to this. So, is there one tweet that either statistically or just something about it where it meant more to you? Any like, what's your favorite tweet since you're now like Longhorn Twitter royalty? What's your favorite tweet?
It's hard to choose because like I've posted before that there's like Twitter's weird. Like I could spend like a week researching a stat. I'm like, oh, this is a killer stat. I've never seen this before. I've been looking at these numbers for a week. And I finally have it. And I post a stat and it has like 20 likes. I'm like, that was worth it. And then I could just be like walking outside on the sidewalk and see something and just write a quick little pun, and that'll get 5,000 likes. I'm like, well, I'm in the wrong business. Like, what am I doing? I should just do puns. So
I like Aggie Fact Thursday. Those are always my favorite.
Those are so easy to find. It's ridiculous. like I started Tech Fact Tuesday and Baylor Fact Wednesday, and those are it's like I'm not really that motivated to do them. Like I'll look stuff up, and it's okay. It's pretty easy to find something interesting.
Baylor Fact Wednesday is just women safe on campus. 0 still.
But Aggie Fact Thursday, it's so easy. They just come so naturally to me. They're fun to do. But so when Mike Gundy had that OAN shirt, the OWN Network last offseason, my tweet was Oklahoma State's going OAN 12 2020. It blew up so quickly, and I was like, I spent 4 seconds on this. I hate Twitter.
All you gotta do is be like this much clever, and
Right.
people eat that shit up.
Yeah.
Think of it like 1 second before somebody else comes up with it, and then it blows up.
There are some like really great like accounts that do like really heavy like stats and data on like whatever their team is, and they don't have that many likes. That's because people I don't know if it's because like they don't understand them or they just don't care, but stats are for nerds. So you have to have some personality with it, otherwise you won't.
Hey, I'm bad at stats, but I'm good at Mortal Kombat, so I'll take that trade-off.
Who is this Blinken Riley guy?
Oh yeah,
because I don't do the Twitter. I don't do the Twitter much. It's pretty clear the Surly Horns Twitter was a barren place for a long time. And then we started the podcast, and RGB3, kind of just started helping me do some Twitter stuff.
It's just the easiest way to explain it is he's the Oklahoma Sooner version of what I am to Texas. So he's like a data guy, a stat guy for Oklahoma. He has a Bedlam Fact Friday where he just rips on Oklahoma State.
I got to get him on the pod now.
Yeah,
we gotta get him on the pod. And so I saw today that you announced but a couple of hours ago that you guys are gonna. I'm sure it's not going to be a super regular podcast, but you guys are gonna.
I mean, he's busy. I'm busy. But people have been requesting like a crossover episode since 2019. So we're finally going to do one because we got enough retweets for it to happen. So he said if it gets 250 retweets, we'll do it. So he's down. So I'm down. We're going to do it. I don't know what's going to be.
Are y'all going to just rapid fire?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Rapid fire back and forth.
I thought it'd be a good idea for us to like pick names of schools out of a hat and then come up with stats about them in like 5 minutes. But I don't know. I don't know what we're going to.
I'm picturing like an 8 Mile, like Papa Doc versus
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. You just you have to just roll shit off the top of your head.
Yeah, he's really good, and Oklahoma has stats in their favor. We
don't talk about this here.
I'll be like B Rabbit, and I'll just like destroy Texas, and it's like I'll be like throw the mic at him, and say tell them something they don't know about me yet, or something.
Yeah,
like that.
There you go.
I'll go first.
All right, we really appreciate you coming on. We know that you're a busy guy and stuff, and you're more than welcome to stay on while we talk about all things Texas. We're gonna get into spring practice. We're gonna talk a little bit about the rest of the sports that are happening, because apparently Texas just isn't back in football. They're coming back, and they're coming for not only your coaches but your fucking players,
top 10,
right?
everything,
your championships, everything. Right, we're coming everywhere.
Yep.
So stick around if you want, but we really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Spring practice. We've got the orange and white game coming up on Saturday of this week, and still no one knows what the fuck's going on.
Hey,
RGB3, do you know anything?
we know that we're going to be live on Discord for the spring game. That's about all I know. I have a crawfish boil at 3, so I was just going to tape the game, but looks like we're going to be live, and I want people to tell me to shotgun beers live on the podcast or live.
We probably will shotgun. So every time there's a this may kill us.
Oh,
We
God.
can't do that.
Oh no,
Touchdown shotguns are probably not a good idea.
No, let's do it. We'll do it until we run out of beer.
Yeah, we just can't bring that many beers. We'll start with 12 beers.
I'm gonna do it. I'm going to a crawfish boil, and I'm only gonna be there for the first half. So you're gonna be the guy that's in danger.
I'm gonna be fucking trashed. Yeah.
Especially
So
if they do some like red zone, like, oh yeah, we're just gonna run red zone plays for like 15 plays or something. Yeah, it's done.
I think it's gonna be really interesting to watch because what we do know is it's not gonna be ones versus twos. It's gonna be a mix of ones on both teams. And so as much as we thought we were going to be able to see who was pulling ahead from the Hudson Card and Casey Thompson QB battle, we're just not gonna know shit.
It's Card. It's Card. Everybody knows it's Card at this point. I think it's common knowledge. It's Card.
From who? From what data?
From my
common knowledge. I don't know about that.
Okay, so I'm gonna lay out the case for Hudson Card. I'm gonna lay out the case for Casey Thompson real
quick.
Please
do.
20 seconds on each.
Sure.
Casey Thompson looked great in the Alamo Bowl, has more experience. You know, he's got a good arm, he's got good legs. Dude's going to be able to play. Pros for Hudson Card, the exact same thing about Casey Thompson minus the experience, but he gets an extra year eligibility. For me, I'm taking Hudson Card. And then you can look at like all the articles that came out after where the coaches were gone. They had that athletic article and they were like, "Oh man, I think they said Hudson Card was Aaron Rodgers." Like, I think you just give that guy like, and my thing is like, okay, that extra year eligibility is so important because if you get, say Casey Thompson's a 92 and Hudson Card is a 90. Well, I would rather take the extra year of eligibility of the guy that's a 90 than the guy that's only going to be able to give you, one less year than the 92. So it's like, okay, well, throw that in. And it looks like they're both fucking 92s. So it's like, well, might as well throw the guy with more eligibility in. And Hudson Card would for sure fucking transfer. Casey Thompson might stick around until next off season. Okay, cool. I'm a transfer. At that point, he could probably grad transfer too.
No. They're doing the one free transfer thing now. So
yeah, that's true. But yeah, so either way, I mean, I think it lines like the stars are aligning. And we'll get into
let's take Hudson Card's dick out of your mouth and let's talk about Casey Thompson.
I'm
20 seconds on Casey Thompson.
I'm gonna suck on his baby hands. So
his little tiny baby hands. You said you're gonna go 20 seconds on each. You're just done. You're spent.
Yeah, no, that's it.
It's just Casey Thompson.
I'm just gonna do 40 seconds on Hudson Card. That's all I need. So I'm excited to see it. I think for me, it's if Hudson Card just shows that he has a pulse, I'm putting him over Thompson solely because of that extra year. And I love Casey Thompson. I thought he was fantastic, especially in the Alamo Bowl. I mean, he looked stupid good. But it was also Colorado, and they fucking suck. But you do got to give it to a little more experience. But at the same point, even though Hudson Card has less experience, sometimes that's a benefit. So we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. I have a feeling both guys are going to be taking reps during the entire season. I think Hudson Card takes the first snap, and it might be some kind of interchange bullshit like Sims and Applewhite. I don't want to fucking say it, but I gotta say it.
Whatever. I'm done talking about offense, right? So we'll talk about it a little bit. Roschon Johnson, they're basically it sounds almost confirmed that they're just going to do like situational RB1, right? It is. We have two RB1s. It's not a tandem back. It's not a duo. They're not going to split carries. It's going to be dependent on, I think, the scheme that the other team runs.
Yeah.
And I think Bijan runs better against a certain scheme, and I think that Roshan runs better against a different scheme. And I think they're just gonna say we've got two really talented guys and they're gonna go off the matchup. And so I think we'll see both guys get 20 plus carries in different games depending on who the opponent is.
I've heard that too, and I 100% disagree with that. Bijan is like a generational talent. Like he's like the next Reggie Bush. You don't let some other guy get his reps. I want all Bijan all the time.
All gas, no brakes.
All gas, no brakes. All Bijan, no Roshan. But I mean, Roshan's good too. But there was a stat last year that I posted towards the end of the Alamo Bowl. It was Bijan Robinson is averaging 9,000% more yards per carry than Roshan Johnson, but he's getting 17% less carries.
9,000? Did you say over 9,000?
better.
Over 9,000?
9,000% better. Tom Herman was putting him in 17% less. Like I don't like that. Like that's crazy.
Tom Herman. Fuck you, Tom Herman.
Put in the guy who averages 9 yards per carry. Don't put. It doesn't matter the situation. Like he's a generational talent. He will find the yards.
We get 3 years of Bijan. We get 3 years of Bijan because he's going to the NFL. He's going to the fucking NFL. So this is year 2. We wasted year 1. This is year 2. I want a 15-5 split. You know, that's what I'm looking for. If Bijan's getting 15, I want Roshan to get 5. If Bijan's getting 20, I want Roshan to get, I'm not a math guy, I'm going to say 10. So
that's not right.
That's absolutely not right. It's absolutely not right. But I don't care. Either way, that's what I want. If there's 30 carries in the game, I want 20-10 split.
Yep. It should be 2/3, 1/3.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. And because Bijan's your best player. He's the best player on
I don't know. I think, you let him get 200 yards and then you just sit him.
Well, that could be 2 fucking carries. No, that math doesn't work out because it's 99 yards. God damn it. So 3 carries.
Yeah.
So defense. I think what we're actually going to see, and I don't know if this is going to be on purpose or not. It probably won't be, but they're gonna call plays. They're gonna call like the full, let the guys on offense run stuff. But one thing that we have heard from all the media availability, I don't trust anything I read from any of the 995ers, is the defense is moving quick and they're hitting real fucking hard.
Dude, PK, he's a beast. He's a killer, man.
I can only imagine. So, and how much you have to take this with a grain of salt too. How shitty is the offense going to look because the defense may just be really that good?
I don't care. They say defense wins championships. I don't care what the defense does as long as they can tackle. That's all I care about.
Yep.
Oh, I think we'll see some tackling.
I do not want to see another season of everyone making fun of Texas every Saturday, every Sunday on college football, like recap, like how we're missing tackles.
Don't make Kyle come up with a missed tackle stat.
I do not want another. We ranked in the top 10 of missed tackles.
I love BJ Foster, but just wrap up, bro. I think I'm looking forward to seeing Ray Thornton. All the 995ers are raving about him, and the dude looks like a fucking beast. So I'm super excited to see.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be stuck in a dark alley with that guy.
Nope. But I think I think it's going to be one of those interesting things. Like you can already see like the practice reports, and I actually think it's a good thing that we're hearing. Oh yeah, the defense is further along than the offense. Well, yeah, because the quarterback doesn't have as much experience, and and left the offensive line in just a complete fucking shit heap.
Right.
So normally when you hear it from the Aggie 995ers, you hear, oh man, this guy's doing fantastic and they're running all over this, but the run defense is great. And it's like, okay, well, if both sides are great, how are you judging that?
Right.
So
yeah.
The fact that we have hey, look, the defense, which has more experience than the offense. I mean, we're going to be starting, I guess Karich and Majors are both going to be technically true freshmen with the COVID season. So we're starting 2 freshmen on the offensive line, plus probably a true freshman quarterback, plus our wide receiver depth sucks. So it's like, yeah, the defense needs to be more advanced.
The defense better step up because we can't I think last year we ranked first for at least half the season on points per game, probably top 10 at the end of the season. Like we're not going to have that this year. We need to step up.
Yeah, even with Sark, you just gotta have a defensive contribution, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And I'm super excited, and I can't wait to just shotgun a beer per touchdown because now it's a thing. We spoke it into existence. It's a thing now. So
it's crazy, I think the athleticism on both sides as well. In the pictures that they post on social media, the guys look bigger. They're not coming in at higher weights. If anything, they're actually a little bit lighter. But these guys, this new strength and conditioning has got these guys in phenomenal shape. Phenomenal shape. Yeah.
Explosion,
And so
baby.
speaking of freak athleticism, we've got the Texas volleyball team in the semifinals for the NCAA championship. And
Final Four, baby.
I don't really watch a whole lot of volleyball, but I did watch the highlights of this last game. And then, of course, I listened to some of the media pundits in volleyball, and I'm going to steal some of what they were saying. Because they were like, the Texas Longhorns are not a team that you want to be playing right now because they're just freaks. They're just athletic freaks right now. And so I've got a couple of stats from the volleyball game. And
data, right?
people may not watch volleyball. I hope you know the rules a little bit, right?
I don't have to go over that.
It's like tennis. It's like tennis. So if you know tennis, it's kind of the same thing.
Aces, I like the shorts. That's all thing. I care about.
Yeah. So there is a woman on the team who served 5 aces, and then there was another like grown ass woman on the team that had 18 kills on a 63% or 630 is what they call it in volleyball. So 63% of the time that she touches the ball, she scores a point. That's
now
insane.
I know what kills mean.
Who is this?
And a kill is a kill's like a spot, what we would think of as like a spike or something after it's volleyed. So there are some freaks on this team, and it's just everyone on the team is so dynamic, and you watch it and you're like, oh dang, these girls are just like clowning on teams right now.
Yeah, they had the team had 3 All-Americans on the team this year.
Jesus, how many people play in a volleyball game? I don't know that.
I think 6 at a time, maybe.
I
don't
know. Yeah, 6 at a time. Yeah.
So when do they play?
Tomorrow.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they're playing tomorrow at 8:30 at night. Everybody, it's on ESPN. No excuse not to support your Longhorn sports, especially when they're in a semifinal game for an NCAA championship. TV ratings, they're a big deal here. They're playing number 1 Wisconsin, who is really fucking good.
Wisconsin is so good that Texas, I think, ended the fall. Like there was a big break between fall and restarting it up right now. Texas was number 1 or 2 all season in the fall, and then they went on a COVID break, the whole like volleyball team, and then when they came back, Wisconsin took the number 1 ranking, and Texas went to like number 2 or number 4. I can't remember, but it was quite good that they passed them up during a COVID break.
That's gonna be a battle.
And Texas 4-4 against Wisconsin all time. They've lost their last 3 matchups to them. That's how good.
We're due.
Yeah, and then on the other side, the other semifinal is 2nd-ranked Kentucky against 6th-ranked Washington. So this is actually going to be, if the Longhorns win this one, it's it's not a guaranteed championship, but this is the hard game.
This is this is their 7th Final Four since 2010.
Damn.
And it'll be their 3rd championship game appearance since 2015. That's how dominating Texas volleyball has been.
Where's
Tom Brady type
shit?
That's Tom Brady shit.
Equestrian. So yeah, that's great. That's great news.
Speaking of women's sports, I have a stat for you that's not a good one for ball, basketball, football, but Texas women's big 3 sports, which is basketball, volleyball, softball, they have now qualified for their, or I guess it was a few days ago, they qualified for their 2nd Elite 8 of the 2020-21 season. Men's big 3 sports, which is football, basketball, baseball, they haven't qualified for 2 Elite 8s since 2014, all combined.
Okay, we'll cut that. We'll cut that out of the podcast.
No, congratulations. You can't have all those good stats. The women's sports teams have been carrying the flag this whole time, waiting for Chris Del Conte to fix the fucking mess that has been men's sports. And so it looks like we're on the right track with the Chris Beard hire. The Sarkisian hire is starting to look pretty promising. We're going to find out what it's really made of.
And David Pierce, he's rolling, baby. He's at 14 straight. 14 straight games. They are looking, I mean, it's not only the Hispanic Titanic. I mean, Ty Madden's beast, like everybody. It's incredible. Yeah. And it's not just like we've been just beating up on a bunch of slappy teams. Like, they're rolling.
I got a few baseball stats, too, while I'm on here for a couple more minutes. Since the A&M game Longest have gone 14-0 with 4 series sweeps. In the same time frame, Aggies have gone 4-8. They've lost 3 series.
Yes.
Um,
This is what people are tuning in for.
Texas was last in the Big 12, their last full season of play, which is 2019 due to COVID. They're now tied for first. They have the best win percentage in all of Big 12. They haven't lost a series yet this season. They are 9-0 on series.
Man.
The record for most consecutive wins to open a season is 34 back in 1977. The record for most mid-season consecutive wins is 33, which was set in 1982. Texas, like you said, has 14, which is the most since 2010 when they had 21 in a row.
Let's go.
That's all gas, no brakes.
All gas, no brakes,
no
stopping. TCU is our biggest hurdle coming up. I mean, I guess and Tech, but
Tech, yeah.
TCU we're tied with for first.
Yeah, and so we've got Huckleberry, who also does some statistical analysis on the baseball team, and he posted earlier today in one of the baseball threads where we did a midseason evaluation of the team. And right now, Texas is number 3 in his ratings through the weekend. And so from an offensive perspective, they're, I think they're ranked 20th, but they, I think they scored an 8.17, whatever that means on his scale. But on the defensive side, they are second. And then, from a slugging percentage and how many home runs they hit and their strength of schedule, it's really looking like Texas is poised to make a serious run at a postseason. Like a real postseasons.
That'll be fun. I'm not going to make a prediction, but if we get that far, holy shit, that'll be that. I mean, I can't wait to, really dive into, more Texas baseball. And it's been fun to watch the games I've, been able to watch. Man.
All right. We've also got basketball. There's not a whole lot in ways of updates here, but there is some funny stuff, and there's rumors that...
Oh, it's not a rumor. It's happened, or it's going to happen.
Oh, is it? Well, he says, the player that we're talking about is from Vanderbilt, and he was their star player.
Yeah, and he's coming to Texas. I'm just going to break the news live on the podcast. By the time the podcast comes out on Friday, he's probably going to be committed. If not, RGB3 and I'm a Mac just broke it on the Surly Horns podcast. He's coming to fucking Texas.
But he has a do not talk to me at all in the transfer portal.
On his transfer portal. Don't talk to me. It's like, okay, well, I know where you're going. And it's to motherfucking Beardland, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, all gas, no brakes. But they are salty as fuck over there. About it.
They don't have anything.
He down.
I would be pissed off. I would be super pissed off. You're Vanderbilt. You don't have a lot of nice things besides your baseball program, which is a fucking wagon. But I mean, you don't have a lot of nice things. So stealing your best player from basketball, sorry,
we'll take it.
We'll fucking take it.
So moving on from basketball, that's really the only thing in ways of updates. We'll have a rounded
one update. We're gonna be fucking awesome next year. If we kept Shaka,
it's pretty much guaranteed.
If we kept Shaka, we're gonna be like maybe 10 wins. Like with how many people are coming out, nobody's gonna transfer in. Shaka on the hot seat. If with Beard Hire, we are. I'm ready. I'm putting a prediction on it. We're going to be in the preseason top 15, guaranteed. Like when rankings come out, I don't know what it's going to look like, past that. But preseason top 15, Texas is going to be squarely in the mix with just the guys that we have currently. And we're going to keep adding, and we might still keep some dudes too, like Sims, Brown.
The Tech 24/7 writers. The Tech 24/7 writers are saying that they're choosing Texas over Gonzaga to favorite to win the championship.
Oh shit!
They're a bunch of slorches over there. So, talking about maybe some recruits. We have rumors swirling that Arch Manning is coming to the spring game. I don't know how much I'm going to put on those rumors. He's pretty far out. He's pretty far out.
He's coming. And so you know how I know he's
coming? You're horrible with predictions here.
Oh yeah, fuck, I am. Okay, either way, I'm still predicting it. He's coming. So he's coming to the spring game.
How do you know he's coming? You were about to say how? How do you know?
In his plums.
Oh yeah, it's my plums. No, so it's Reuben Owens and him. They took a picture together. Reuben Owens was in a Manning house. Like that bitch must be fucking built to the max. Like Ruben Owens was just sitting there and just said, "Hey, I'm just going to come over to your house." That kid is going to recruit the shit out of that guy. So you have the number one running back in the nation, the number one quarterback in the nation, and soon to be the number one in the nation. From who is, I'm not going to ruin it, but he is looking good to Texas. And like there are the 2023 wheels are in motion. And if Texas can produce on the field, look out. And you know, I love Quinn Ewers. I was the person that started the Ewers or bust thread on Surly Horns. But I gotta say, the fact seeing Manning,
He's got his own train. He's got his own train of 5 stars that he's taken wherever he goes too.
maybe.
So I think,
You say that, but he only
All the
has Caleb
5-star
Burton.
QBs have their little groupies that are going to follow with them.
You say that, but I mean, he has Caleb Burton to Ohio State, and that's it so far. I mean, and Caleb Burton to me is not a 5-star. Like he might be able to pull, you know, he might get a Hudson to Texas or something like that. But to me, the Manning, you throw an 18 Manning in the burnt orange jersey, bro. You don't think ESPN is just going to be salivating all over that? It's the same thing as Peyton going to Tennessee. It's, you know, it's Peyton choosing Tennessee over Ole Miss. It's, you know, it's that big. Or, you know, Eli going to Ole Miss, back to Ole Miss. It's huge. It is on the ticker of Sports Center. You know, how often do you get a recruiting news? It's, never. It's going to be the ticker. Arch Manning commits to Texas, and I'm not going to make a prediction. I'm not going to do it.
But you almost kind of did, so I'm going to take that as the truth. So if he doesn't commit to Texas, I will blame you.
It's my fault, and that's fair. Everybody blames me for everything anyway, so I can take the heat. All gas, no brakes. Fuck it. Arch Manning to Texas. All gas, no brakes. Fuck everybody else. Fuck the haters. We're gonna have Cooper Manning's fucking son wearing burnt fucking orange.
And Cooper's the best Manning, right? He was the best. He just got hurt before
he had that neck thing, which is crazy. You would think like, okay, quarterback. He was a wide receiver, and then he had the neck like stenosis. It was the same thing Gabriel Floyd had, which that still sucks. It makes me want to drink just thinking about Gabriel Floyd.
Moving on from that, we need to talk about a thread that just recently got started by none other than Slorch, but a really good topic. Of course, the infographic that he posted is completely bogus and not based on reality, but the whole thing is friendliest places to play and most hostile places to play. And instead of us, because I don't think we've been to every single stadium, even between the three of us, but I'd like to go through and say, what's the friendliest game? Doesn't matter if it was their home stadium, but friendliest fans that you've interacted with, and then the most hostile fans that you've interacted with.
Wait. Before we start, was this posted by, was this a screenshot from ATL Boomer 1990? There's this guy on Twitter that keeps posting like all sorts of like rankings. I'm looking on his thread right now. It's top 25 best worst traditions in college football, best QB from every Power 5 school, best restaurant in every Group of 5 college town.
It's just his opinion.
I've DM'd him before. He said it's based on like research and like other fans like
sure
talking to him, but
it's ATL Boomer 1990.
Yes,
ATL Boomer 1990.
Yeah,
what a
this guy
name!
He has blown up in the last 2 months of Twitter. He's gone from like 1,000 followers to like almost 5,000. He posts these rankings about random.
It sucks, right? These rankings are fucking garbage,
yeah,
right? And
they're
really just absolutely.
It pays the bill, so he knows what he's doing. It's getting everyone talking. So
yeah, but we're not going to talk about his. Fuck his rankings. We're not even going to say what his rankings are because they're so bad. And we're just going to talk about our rankings.
Okay, so friendliest place, worst place.
Worst I have is A&M. I've been there a bunch. The worst. Best. TCU wasn't bad. Baylor wasn't bad. Everyone else kind of sucks. Red River rivalry is right there with A&M, but A&M just takes the.
So I threatened to I threatened to throw a guy off. I guess the statute of limitations are off now, but I threatened to throw a guy out of the fucking stadium. Like literally, I said I will throw you into the next fucking row at Kyle Field. So I'm going to go with that as the worst, and then I'm going to go with shockingly. Okay, so this is a complete shocker to me, but I guess I got to take it with a grain of salt because Texas wasn't playing them at that exact game.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't count.
Okay, so if
Has to
that
be a
doesn't
Texas
count,
game.
then if that doesn't count, then I will go with TCU. TCU.
Yeah.
They were solid. It wasn't bad.
Very
Everybody got along.
Christian-like.
Yeah, which with their team, excepting Marcel Brooks, they don't act very Christian with their football team, but their fans did act very Christian. We all tithed together and prayed together, and we were fucking fine. So
You tied at the game? Awesome.
yeah, they literally
Legit.
passed around a collection plate mid game. So that's how Christian they are.
Okay, yeah. So for me, by far, the fucking worst fan base is a really close tie for me between Georgia and LSU.
Mm.
Just fucking garbage fans. I have been to games as an LSU fan, right? Not like just rooting for LSU, and they're a fun crowd to be in.
And that was mine that I was referring to. When we weren't playing them, I went to an LSU game, and it was a blast. It was a fucking great.
It's a blast,
Yeah, it's
but
probably not when you're not playing them. Yeah, they're a hoot.
No, but when they came to Austin,
Yeah,
that was one of the it was. I got into lots of fucking screaming fights, and it was fucking really annoying. But the worst, Georgia, fucking by far, trash fans, garbage fan base. Fuck all you guys, you stupid motherfuckers. They were talking shit even when they were down
20 points, talking shit.
Such a shit fan base that they were talking about how other teams in the SEC were going to win the national, and I was like, yeah, but what about this game, you stupid motherfucker?
SEC.
Yeah, and then I started chanting SEC in their face.
Fuck the SEC.
Georgia, that's like the worst fans I've ever been around at a Texas game.
Yeah.
Like by far. Best, I can't believe you've never been. Did you never go to a Nebraska? Did you never go to Nebraska?
Nope.
Best fans.
It would be
They're
fun.
the fucking best. They're the best fans of the NCAA, I think.
Well,
they're the nicest fucking
I think they have to be when they play us
because they just like want to talk about football. They're like, you guys have they're very knowledgeable.
Here's some corn.
They're just super nice fucking Midwestern people, and all they care about is football. They want to win, of course, but they will not talk shit at all. If anything, they'll say, oh, I don't think so because, I've watched his film and blah, 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 because they're a really knowledgeable fan base.
Okay, well, I have to go, but I'll leave you with a cool Nebraska stat.
Love it.
The last time Nebraska was ranked in the top 5, a Texas team that would end up going 5-7 beat them at home, and Nebraska has beaten Texas once in the last 45 years.
Holy shit!
Holy shit!
So
no wonder they're so nice. They have whipped dog syndrome.
Yes,
man.
Yeah, I'm sure they were talking nice and friendly to you.
They were neutered. Damn.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Damn.
Okay, well, I gotta go, guys.
Thanks, Kyle. We really appreciate you coming on. It was a blast.
Yep. Open invite. Yeah, and I can't wait to read the book.
We gotta do this again.
Yeah, and we're gonna put a link to that book from the Amazon thing.
Yep.
Go buy this book. It's absolutely hilarious. He gave you a little sneak preview. Really good shit.
Oh, man.
Thanks for coming on, Kyle.
Awesome. No, thanks again for coming on. Yeah, can't wait to read the book. Hook 'em.
Hook 'em.